Hi. It's
Wow.
Eve. Yeah, this is so hard.
I've never heard someone struggle with a greeting that I think might have even been very close to like the first words ever uttered. Hello.
Welcome to hi everybody. Welcome to I can't look at you. All right, ready?
She's having a stroke.
Welcome to Everyone's Doing Better Than Me, a podcast about jealousy being explained away by finding out that everybody's lives are hard. Not that I really believe that. I'm here today with my brand new co-host, the amazing, the hot.
There's really a lot of trepidation with the
I'm
first
trying
one.
to find like words that accurately describe how cool you are. Catherine Henson. I forgot to say I'm Eve Ellenbogen. And this is Catherine's first episode as a co-host, and she gets to witness how bad I am at kind of everything without editing. Welcome.
Yeah, no, and I'm a Capricorn, so I'm very organized. So I'm like listening to you, just like the whimsy that's going into just even saying hello. I'm like, just say hello. Like, just, you can do it. Come on, you can get there.
You're in London. You're in London now.
Yeah, I'm in London. I'm in London now, and I'm watching it. It's snowing. It's fucking snowing, and great, just great. Happy to be here. Happy to be alive.
Well, in New York, if you were here, it's not much fucking better, man. I mean, it snowed last weekend, it snowed this weekend, and then it's supposed to snow all week, which is really getting in the way of my Tinder plans. Because if I'm going to meet the one this year, I got to be seeing a certain number of men in person every week. You got to swipe, meet, kiss, cry, and then and just
repeat.
Yeah, exactly. It's so bad, but I'll get into my gripes in a minute. But so anyway, I'm so excited that you're here, that we're doing this together, man. How do you feel?
I feel good. I mean, I feel like it's very natural for me to feel like everyone's doing better than me. So I feel very, very much in my element right now. Again, another week of everyone doing fucking better than me. Yeah. Like, I tried to take your advice and like, find something to like make me feel good and special. Like, you were talking to me about how you light all these fucking candles in the morning.
I've got two lit right next to me, right here.
Oh yeah. Well, so what I did was I purchased like wicks online,
right,
so I could, because I'm a Capricorn and I refuse to buy myself a new candle, I was like, I'll melt down all the candles that are old and turn it into a new candle in the candle holder and put a wick in. So then I'll have this feeling of accomplishment, arts and crafts, whatever. This is the fucking candle. Okay. This is what's happened to it. Do you see that?
You see that's kind of nice.
No. You're missing the fact that the wick itself is like burning into the side. I just blew it out. It's a hole. You see that? It's like a gaping.
It looks like a vagina.
It looks like a vagina. Oh, great. Feminism. I'm so fucking happy.
It's even the color of like a really healthy looking vagina.
Okay. Don't try to make this better than it is. It's horrendous. It's like burnt. It's not burning like a real candle. It's like a catacomb. And in the process, in the process of doing that, I just need you to understand. Okay. I like put it in a jar, into a pot, into another pot, and I like boiled it to like melt it down. Wax everywhere, all over my kitchen, clogging my drain, every it's like on my stove, it's on the counter, it's everywhere. It's on my hands. There's no way to get it off, and you can't pour it down the drain because then you clog the drain. So the drain's clogged. There's a film ruined 2 pots. Okay, this took like 4 fucking hours.
They're not salvageable.
The amount of scrubbing I did on them, do you know what I mean? Like there's a film on them. Like if I were to cook with them, I will eat wax. So, all of this for like peace and like harmony and feeling accomplishment and making myself this special candle that I can light when I'm fucking journaling. And like, really, it was just stress upon stress. My heart rate like went up by like 1,000, making this one candle, that's burning. It's so sad to even look at. It's so truly sad to even look at. Just on this other note of, so like, I don't know if I told you this, but I got a letter in the mail. And it basically said something like, blah, blah. Like I, I don't know much about life. I don't know much about death either. I know that one day we will die, but right now you are alive.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Where did this come from? Someone you know? Was this from like a
someone
church?
I know.
Okay.
Someone I know.
And it was in the mail. The actual mail?
It was in the mail, in the actual mail. They were like, one day, I know one day you will die, but right now you are alive, blah, 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 eat this acid. Right. So
Whoa. I was like, I just had that's just so not where I thought it was going.
I know you thought I was gonna be like, I'm into Christ now.
Yeah, I thought it was like, I'm like, you have another friend like me who's like, listen, Catherine, you're here and I know things are hard, but carpe diem, and I thought you were like, and that was what got me to make another candle. And I thought, you are right, but no, eat this acid. That's like, it's like what I recommend to you with like a totally different spin,
Yes. Yeah. With a spin that I actually feel pretty comfortable with. I'm very comfortable with drugs. I'm well versed in drugs. So I don't know. I don't know if I made just like a super rookie mistake or whatever, but like on Saturday, which was a couple of days ago, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm eating the drugs.
And was Mark there? Mark, your husband?
Mark was there. So there were two tabs. So I was like, let's eat the acid, right? And then, as it starts to kick in, I'm like, oh, like, what are we gonna do? Because it's freezing here. You are not allowed outside.
Right.
I haven't made any like plan or like playlist or whatever. So I did watch clips of RuPaul's Drag Race for maybe 2.5 hours. Then I just got really depressed. Like what it did was it showed me my reality again,
right?
Which is what life is now.
Right.
And then it became boring. So basically, I made LSD boring. So I don't know if that's a fucking accomplishment, but like to me, I'm like, if anybody who is having a good time I made like what is supposed to be arguably one of the craziest drugs, dull, depressing, and uneventful. I don't know if it's because I had an expectation going in that it would change my Saturday night into something that it couldn't possibly be, which was fun, but it didn't.
Sometimes when I hear you like talk about how shit everything is, I feel like I'm like, are you sure you're not Jewish? Because like you're like, you know what it is? You have like a Jew's suffering with like a much cooler edge, like, do you know what I mean? Like you dress better. I don't know. You're kind of like you have like a rock star style with a Jewish pain, which is like refreshing to me,
I love the compliment, but then I'm also like, I haven't changed my pants in 4 days, and they're like definitely sweatpants.
That's circumstantial. That's because of COVID. Yeah. And I have all your clothes now. I got all your clothes fucking, and I've only had like one half panic attack, but I don't even think it was about the clothes. I think it was about,
I was thinking a lot about that too. I was thinking like the clothes. So I don't know if we mentioned this, but like I had a storage unit that I had to move my shit into. And now most of it is at your apartment because you're going to sell a lot of my shit for me and ship it to me. And then, you mentioned you were like, I'm going to need a lint roller. And like, I
felt really bad saying that.
Well, no. But it's like, I had a dog and he's still alive. He's retired with my mom in California.
He's retired.
I mean, he's happier, but it brings me pain to remember him. You know what I mean? But he's like happier. But like he's a basset hound, which means he is he's just walking hair. Like I got so used to it, you know what I mean, that I was just like whatever. But anytime anyone went into my home or touched anything, even though I would vacuum and I had a Roomba, robot vac, everybody's like dog hair, and I just forgot, and I was like, fuck. I was like, the dog hair and the clothes are going to ruin our friendship, and we just started this podcast. Perfect. Like
that'd be a pretty fragile friendship if I was like, that's it. There's hair on these clothes. I refuse to sell them. No, I mean, I was like, how I am, and you made fun of me for it last time, which is so appropriate, where I'm always like, well, if you're struggling, write about it. And you're like, fuck you. But like, I have been writing about, everything. And I kind of came around to like, because it was overwhelming. They came on Friday. And by the way, just to clarify, the reason why you had everything in storage and whatever is because you left New York to come do a comedy festival show with me in Australia.
Yeah.
Got stuck in Australia during COVID, got married to your now husband, moved to London, and have never come back to New York, where you thought you'd come back to. So that's why I have all your stuff. And so it's like this crazy. I mean, our friendship is so weird, but I'm enjoying it. Today.
Yes.
We'll see.
Today. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was like thinking about this. And so Friday I was like, oh my God. And I knew it was gonna be a lot. And it's exactly what I expected. There's no surprises. But I was like emotionally, I was like, what have I gotten myself into? But I know that like when I make a choice, I really think about it. And I know that like, okay, this is overwhelming, but like, it's okay. I have to just trust the choice I made. And it came to the point over the weekend where I was like, the boxes are good, and I like pulled out, like a card, like a tarot card, but they're like angel cards. Cause they're like, you don't have to decipher them as much. They just have messages. And one of them was like, clear your space. Like it was like, use this time to go, organize your home and, create feng shui. And I was like, this is like an endorsement of me in the boxes. Like I really interpreted it as like a sign from the angels that like, this is what I'm meant to do right now. So I'm happy about it. I mean, it's like, it is daunting and intimidating, but so is like being a stand-up comedian. And so my plan is that by the time I finish this, I will know my path in comedy, right? That's fine, isn't it? That's like a good.
By the time you finish the boxes?
I mean, I'm just like drawing a weak arc, but basically it's like,
okay, yeah, I'll buy it. Whatever.
Basically, it's like the tackling things that are daunting and intimidating to me is like the thing I have to do in my life.
Great. I'm glad you've done. I hope you've journaled about it. I swear to God.
Oh, I absolutely have. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this week for me, I think so there's two key themes. Well, there's one key theme really, which is that I'm insanely horny and it's fucking killing me. Like I always felt like I've always avoided having like real employment because I felt like it would age me in like a spiritual way. And then that would take a toll on my body. And it's like a point of pride that like people are like, wow, you look younger than you are. And I'm like, yes, because I've never had a job. I mean, and I have had a job, but like never one that like I could ever brag about or like feel, never one that like paid me enough or anything. And I have a few gray hairs, but like that's really the main sign of my aging. I have one wrinkle here between my eyebrows, and then my boobs have started to like relax a little bit. Like they're, they're not like saggy, but they're just like, like that's how my boobs are now. But that's my main sign of aging. But what is coming back to haunt me is being this single during COVID, because I am so horny that I can feel like fires inside of me, like charring my cells. You're like oxidizing my body. Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Like my
science.
Skin. Yeah, exactly. One day the research will catch up to what I know to be true, but it's like I am aging. Like I am aging so hard by wanting so badly to have someone inside of me. Like just to be like touched. And I mean, I'm on fire all the time.
Wow.
And you can only masturbate. I mean, no, you can't only masturbate. I masturbate all the time. I'm masturbating right now as we talk.
Yeah.
And it's like taking a toll on me. And it's like, I mean, I've started having like phone sex with a friend, and, I've started and like messaging him at like weird times, and he's just like, cool, like fine with it. But it's like, I don't feel like I'm at a high point, it's like I'm grateful for him, but I'm also like,
desperate.
Yeah, totally desperate. Like he can't see me and like have a ton of respect for. I think he's doing it out of like, if I don't do this, she might kill herself.
Pity.
So, what'd you say? Pity. Yes. Pity. I'm like, what is that word again? Right. Pity. Yes. He is having, I mean, how sad do you have to be for someone to have phone sex with them? Because if they don't have phone sex, that they won't make it. Do you know, like, I get like, oh yeah, it's throwing someone a crumb and being like, you really need this crumb? Like I have so little, And
yeah.
And so
but it's sexy in a dirty, sad way, you know?
Oh, I know. I feel so, I mean, like, I know that it's dirty and sad. You know, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what did I do? You know, and what is my life? Okay, got to drink the coffee or else I won't make it. Catherine, have you been journaling? You really need to take care of yourself, you know? But then, so what I'm doing, I've invested so hard in Tindering. I Tinder all the time. It's like relentless. And I hate it. I mean, I don't hate it. I go through cycles where I'm like, this is fun. I like it. And then being like, I hate this. I hate this so much. The world is full of bullshit. I'm never going to meet it. Whatever. All this stuff, like getting really bitter. And I've been going on a lot of first dates, or a few first dates, a couple second dates. And I think the worst part, it's like, you know, it works. It does. Well, it doesn't work, obviously, because I would not be complaining if somebody had penetrated.
If it worked.
Yes. Yeah. So if I felt that girth inside, oh my God, I can't, like, I'm just like, some of my family members are like, I would love to listen to your podcast. And I'm like, please don't ever listen to the things I say. But if, you know, so it's like, no, it's not working, but you know, whatever, it's nice to meet people and all stuff like that. But the part that I'm struggling with is that I put that I'm a comedian in my Tinder because that gets rid of the riffraff, you know, the people who are like not into women who are chatty or whatever. I've had so many people in the past be like, you know, they're
riffraff.
Like, yes, like I've had so many matches in the past when I was like trying to conceal that I was a comedian, be like really deterred when they found out that I speak a lot, you know, and they're like, ugh, I like a woman who just uses her mouth to suck on my dick. And I'm like, no, I like to express things too. And so if you see on my Tinder that I'm a comedian and my name is Eve, if you Google Eve comedian, you find all my shit. I'm not that hard to find. And so I have people who I've been on one date with or no dates with watching my Instagram stories, on my Instagram, maybe listening to my podcast. And it freaks me out because it's like, all I want to do is talk shit about dating, which means making fun of people, but I don't want people to kill themselves. So I don't do that, you know, because I'm a big believer in
So you don't express yourself. You're not true to yourself for the sake of these bad dates. I have a question. Are you looking for love or are you looking for sex?
Unfortunately, both. I need a connection or else it doesn't matter.
Well, I can make a recommendation for you because there was a time I've never really been good at the internet dating. I get very, I don't know. But I was trying to fill a void, more than one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And,
like, which one?
Yeah. And there's this app that who knows if it's still operating called Field that I did in New York.
F-I-E-L-D?
No, I think it's F-E-E-L-D.
Okay. I wrote it down.
And I put my photo, I had a fake name.
Right.
And, you know, I just wrote like a little description. There's way more women on there than there are men, you know? So like, so I get messages all the time, but you kind of put what you're into,
right?
You know, like sexually.
Okay.
You know, like I didn't put that I was a comedian. I didn't put anything about myself. I put my name. I think I wrote Denise because that was my name working at the dungeon and whatever. And I had one photo and I met up with two different people from it. And, you know, one guy I got a joke from because he had a lisp and that's like, you know, he was beautiful, but he had this lisp. Fine. But like, you know, it worked. It worked in terms of like, you know, you kind of become,
so
you meet up with people that you're, yeah, but I mean, who knows? It could lead to more. I don't fucking know. You know, I don't know what I was doing on there. You know, another guy I also had sex with, and I told him I was a comedian and he came and saw me because I tried to meet up with him before a show and then I realized I wasn't into him. So I invited him to the show because that's when I'm like, oh, I'm a comedian. I don't like you. So come to the show. Follow me on Instagram.
Right.
And we had very, very bad sex where I actually got another joke out of that. My raped myself joke. So the point is,
I was like, when I heard I raped, I'm like, oh no, but myself. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, but anyway, I could recommend that to you because that's a little less, you know, I mean, if you're just looking for some compatible sexual activity, maybe, you know, you may find somebody worth dating on there, but I think, you know, it's sort of more like people put what they're into, maybe that they're looking for more or not, but you could potentially at least find someone to fill those holes. And that you know, you don't have to necessarily do the whole hobnob where you're like, I don't like the kissing or this or that, because everybody's already so, you know, open about it or whatever.
Yes.
And
okay. Yeah.
You don't have to put that you're a comedian, because if you're kind of there for something else, or you can, and it doesn't fucking matter. Like, I joke about both of these fuckers and they don't fucking know. They don't even know my real name, you know?
Right. Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, I'll think about it, because I don't know. I have so much anxiety around, and call me like a diva, but around being raped, you know, like I just,
I don't see why. I mean, my God.
I don't know. I'm a bit of a puss that way, you know? I mean, it's just like, just have strangers in your house. You're fine. No, but I think you can, I could still mitigate those fears. Like, you can still find a way to
meet up. Right. Yeah. You meet up for the drink. You do the same thing.
Right.
You know, you see if you want to, but you kind of get to where you want to go faster.
Right. If you're just, if you're looking just to meet the sexual need, then it's like a different thing. It's like, do I trust you sexually? Not. Do I want to date you long term?
Yeah.
I was actually journaling about that today. I was journaling about it. Of course I was this morning, that maybe I need to have different expectations, because it's like, you have a good date, first date, and you're like, ooh, I think I've met someone. And then you get so excited. And then the second date can just be so different from the first date. Or you have like a mediocre first date, and then you have a good second date, and then they're like, I'm not interested. So it's like, there's no way to tell for like, I think 5 dates if you want to be more serious with someone. And so I can't keep living in this place of like, oh my God, is this going to work? Is this going to happen? I have to just, have no expectations.
Yeah. I mean, because to be honest, like, before I met Mark and whatever, like, I didn't date. Like, I've never dated. I'm not good at dating. I would, whatever. I would basically see somebody in a bar, and I'd usually be drunk. I'd be like, you buy the cab to my apartment, and like, that was the date, and then if I enjoyed that experience, perhaps I would call them again. Often they never got a call again, like, I was like, I never want to see this person again. So really, I'm not saying this is the way to be, but I was just sort of like, if something isn't going to, if I can't tell immediately, like, that you're going to fit into my like sphere, if I have to ask any questions, then like, then I don't want it,
Yes,
and I'm not saying that's the way to be. But I got very sick of wondering, like, did that go well? What's he think? What am I think? I was just like, I don't fucking care. Either we both know what we're thinking and we're saying it, or we just don't have to do this,
Yeah. Well, I think I can still say, and I know you'll hate this, but that you're doing better than me, because you get to have, I know that you're like, well, I'm not doing better than anyone. And I'm like, you know what? I would take I wouldn't. I was like, I would take being locked up in London and, miserable and away from my dog if I could have a dick in me. And then I'm like, no, I wouldn't.
Because that's the thing. I mean, you and I think, are very different. Like, I'll put it this way. My like sex drive is completely connected to how good I feel.
Right.
Like, completely. Like, and I think, some people are different, because like, I've seen a lot of people being like, I'm so horny during quarantine. And I'm like, I feel nothing in that realm. And I can like get there, because like, obviously I'm attracted to my husband and whatever. And but it's all very like less free, less fun, not because of him, but just because of me and the way where I'm feeling. Like, when I jerk off, it's I cried after one time, just because I was like, this is just sad. Like, I'm not even enjoying this. I'm doing it because I know like it'll help things, but like, I enjoy no part of it. It's all very manual. Like, I'm like, like, there, that's done. Like, I was just like, my day is like, I wake up and I'll jerk off to try to make it better. And then it doesn't. And then I'll try to make a candle, and that doesn't do it either. And then like, so it's like, I actually think you're still doing better, because you get to be in touch with your vagina, whereas I don't even want to touch mine.
Right. Oh God, you manipulative little bitch. All right, but we know this, but enough about us. Let's bring it to this week's guest, Ben Knight. What do you think?
I struggle to be convinced that he suffers, but I
know.
He's a good looking.
Yeah.
He seems nice.
Yeah.
Apparently he was locked down in Melbourne while I was locked down, but then flew to Queensland, I guess, after the lockdown opened.
Or part of it. Yeah, I knew you'd be pissed off about that part of the interview.
Oh, yeah. No. I was like, you went to teach the children. So, like, you don't feel bad about getting your lots. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Why don't you come teach me a fucking lesson? I'd like to learn. But, he seems very nice. But yeah, I also noticed you gave him and I the same compliment. So
what did I say?
You said everybody likes us.
Yeah, but in a different way. You know what? I do give that compliment to people. I've given it to a few. I've given it to a few people, but it's totally different with the two of you. People like him because he's such he seems like a very calm, kind of gentle person. People like you because they're like, whoa, what the fuck? She's crazy. I like her. It's a completely different energy, but I'm jealous of everybody. I mean, that's the whole thing, is like, with you, you're like, it's, I'm sure that you're like, everyone's more successful. You're more successful than me. But you say that to a person like living in a box on the street because people are giving them money for no reason. According to,
no.
I know you, how you hate the homeless, All right. Well, should we do it? Should we introduce Ben Knight?
Yes, Ben Knight.
Ben Knight, Australian comedian, actor, bear hugger, good fucking stupid friend, redhead, and emotional connoisseur.
And man I've never met. So Ben Knight.
What's the podcast about?
Oh, yeah. I didn't even tell you.
No.
It's called Everyone's Doing Better Than Me. You know me.
Oh, yeah.
And it's about
way better.
Oh, yeah, you are. We just literally finished talking this second about how you've been dating and stuff and how I haven't been touched intimately since March of last year.
I wish I didn't. She broke my heart.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, it's so hard being out. And you know what? I wish I was in a cage. I wish I was in a cage and nobody could come near me.
It's so hard being a straight white man.
In Australia.
Out there. In Australia.
Well, so it's everyone's doing better than me. And then you know how I always am so jealous. You know that.
What?
You're being sarcastic, right?
So sarcastic.
Okay.
Could you not hear that?
Because I was like, you and I are like good friends. How could you... Sorry, I just muted myself. I was thinking, like, how could you not know that I'm so jealous?
We're best friends. Well, you're my best friend, and I'm just your friend. I get it. It's fine.
Really? I'm your best friend? That's funny.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I got all those missed calls from you after I got back to New York and those messages. Oh, sorry, I never heard from you.
I messaged you heaps.
Did you?
I messaged you heaps. Go through your messages. Don't try and gaslight me.
The truth is, I was so depressed when I left Australia for like months that I just don't remember. I was so down, but I mean, I'm okay now. But so yes, so I'm obviously jealous of everything. Yes. And so this is the podcast where I tell you all the reasons I'm jealous of you or that I'm envious of you. And then you have to tell me about your problems so that I feel better. And then,
okay, cool.
And then at some point I'm going to make you tell me things that you're jealous of me for, which is, I mean, that's
going to be a short segment.
Listen, you little bitch, you little ginger bitch.
Do that right at the end.
It is at the end.
You got gorgeous thick hair. All right, we'll do that.
Well, should I start by telling you the things that I'm jealous of you for?
Yes, go.
Okay. So I didn't even say that you're like such a funny comedian and you're like a stupidly buff, like handsome, kind of rugby-esque ginger, which is that's the downside of it. But to me, but that's only because you're in Australia. Like if you were in the US, nobody even cares. Like, I mean, it's like that whole stigma. You were here.
I went to the US. Yeah.
You lived in New York.
I told them. Yeah. And I told them, I said, do you know what a ranger is? And like, no. And it's like, oh, well, it's what you call gingers in Australia. It's short for orangutan. And this gorgeous black woman, she was like, oh my God, that's horrible. And I was like, oh man, I love you.
Your accent. Say again, what did you say? What was the last thing you said?
I said, I love you. I was like, yeah, sick. Thank you.
Well, here, I mean, I'm sure that you did well when you were in New York, right?
Oh yeah. Like I guess, like I didn't use really Tinder or mate. I used plenty of no. What was it? OK
Okay,
Cupid.
Cupid. But you probably did.
Someone helped me set up, and it was. How bad's this? My thing was Big Aussie Ben. What a fuckhead!
I'm
I
surprised
was
you
like,
didn't
yeah,
just have a big picture of
just
your dick,
so
Big
you
Aussie
know.
Ben.
Oh, I think I had a shirtless top, a shirtless photo or something like that,
I'm
like a
sure
fucking idiot.
you did so well here. I mean, like, I'm sure that you did better than I do. Like, I mean, actually, it's funny. I switched my Tinder to both men and women the other day.
Oh,
Just
cool.
and so many hot women keep matching with me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? All these, I mean, not all these men, but like with men, it's like 1 in 100 are like attractive or I'm attracted to,
Yeah.
whatever. But the women, I'm like, I should just make myself gay, Like, I mean, I'm not sure, like, if I am bi or whatever. I'm just trying to
Give
figure
it a
it out.
go. It's 2021. No one gives a shit anymore. Fucking
I don't
get
give
out
a
there.
shit anymore. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm being so disorganized
Do
because
it.
I know that you have to go and
Yes.
like a little bit. We have time. Okay.
Give it to me.
What'd you say?
Give it to me.
Oh, sorry. What was that? Say it again. Okay.
Give it to me, Dave.
By the way, before I start, my friend who I was talking to, my friend tagged you in this like post, right? Obviously, about like a mental health thing, like whatever. And I sent her a photo of you. I was like, oh yeah, this is my friend who came up with this idea that you've now posted and taken credit for on your Instagram. And I sent her a picture or a video of her, and she was like, wow, of you. And she was like, wow, he's so good looking, or he's gorgeous. And I was like, I told you this before. I was like, yeah, I used to make him hold me while I told him how horny I was and like tried not to cry. So anyway, that's our little. I miss you. I miss you, Ben. Hold me.
That. I miss you too, mate.
Yeah.
I do.
Next time I masturbate, I'm gonna call you. All right. So
they might be pushing the friendship, but hey, I know you're in COVID. This. I'll take one for the team. If you really need
I need
pic, I'll take a picture of
not good enough.
Dick and
I want you to get a 3D printer. I'll get a 3D printer.
You want me to mold? You can mold your dick now.
Dude, send it to me,
Nah.
My first thing that I'm envious of or jealous of in you.
Yes.
That you're so into like you're an attractive person. Okay, put your dick away. But you you're so muscly and you're super into fitness. And so I wrote so that you're buff enough. So that's like really the main thing. But I wrote down that you're buff enough that it's still cool when you talk about mental health. Like if somebody else were to talk about mental health, like some scrawny, I really think it's important to go for walks and get exercise. You'd be like, gay. But when you do it, do it, it's like, cool. It's like you are able, like you're so into like health and fitness, which is one thing. Cause I'm like, oh my God, like I wish I could have the motivation that you have. And that means that, you're able to be more vulnerable as a man because you're like so fit and all this stuff like that it's like, well, if Ben's saying it must not be gay. So
I get what you mean. Yeah. Well, that's what I did that show about, Big Red. It was like one of my shows was all about like how, I don't know, trying to offset my Queensland brain because I was, I don't know. I think I've always been like super sensitive, but yeah, I don't know. Like I kind of feel like I wanted to offset. I like feeling strong and I don't know, like masculine, that sort of thing. But like I'm a fucking sook. I probably need to stop being such a sook, maybe.
Do you think that the reason that you like being strong? I mean, because you've told me that you used to get like beaten up and stuff when you were a kid or picked on, right, for being ginger.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Like in Australia, gingers got teased a fair bit. Yeah. And like, I've had people, I got bullied a heap at high school. So like maybe that was part of it. Like I'll fucking get massive and I'm not that massive, but like I'll get bigger
totally
and, like,
massive.
and massive and like masculine, do you know what I mean? So I don't know, to offset that, I guess. Maybe it was something like that. I don't know.
It's interesting because I think a lot of guys would do that, but they wouldn't retain the sensitivity. They would just. Do you know what I mean? Because like some guys will be like, for example,
overcorrect.
Yeah, and so some guys, if they have a really tough childhood, they'll be violent toward women, or
right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so they'll become super masculine in that way, and then they'll be violent. Or if guys are like picked on or whatever in school, then you have all these people who were coming to school and like murdering their classmates. Like, I mean, that's the problem with like a lot of.
Well, mine wasn't that bad. Everyone got tased at school. You know, mine wasn't that bad. It's just, I think I just like feeling, I don't know, strong. It used to be okay. It used to be like, girls were never really interested in me at all because I was like this skinny little ginger that grew up on the Sunshine Coast. Right. And then I sort of grew up and grew into my body and I don't know, became more like a man. Mm-hmm. And then I started getting a little bit of female attention, but I've still sometimes, I was saying this to this woman I was saying not that long ago, but I still have that bit in my brain where I'm like, really? You're like, you're so gorgeous. Why are you attracted to us? And like, that's probably a problem maybe that I need to fix about myself, like as in, I don't know, self-worth. But I don't have, it's not bad.
I think you should, I think just you should still keep that, it.
I think you should keep that. It's still, and it's not debilitating. I just need to talk to the person about it and just say like, hey, like I still have that little part in my head where it's like, why are you interested in me? Like I still all the time have that. Well, not all the time, but
I think that the thing that's unfortunate about that is that like we equate looks with being the thing. Like, so this person's attractive, so why would they be with me if I don't? I mean, like, because like, but it's like
part of your brain.
Yeah, but it's also like so you still feel unattractive from being a kid, but also like, why would one person's attractiveness mean that the other person has to be equally attractive? Like, you don't say that with someone's intelligence. You're not like, oh, I'm so smart, but my partner's just like kind of smart. Why would they be interested in me? But looks is like this thing that we value so much that it's like you can't date down, basically, if you're good looking. That's the worst thing you can do. Women do it all the time. Women do it all the time, but not in your case. She was not dating down. No, you're so gorgeous.
You're so great. Shut up.
But I mean, but you see that. I mean, look at most comedians, right? They're like funny trolls with these like model girlfriends.
There's some weird units out there that that's just another thing. Like as a whole human, like everyone's got different bits that make them a cool person. Yeah, but you're right. The whole aesthetic thing is the thing that we sort of, that's the first thing you see. So you're like, oh, and then
why would you like me? You know, I mean, I have that with like body shape because I've dated guys who are pretty fit and I always feel insecure, always. But you know, and they care about their fitness and I care about my health and my fitness, but I'm not like a thin person. And I've, you know,
curvy, you got curves, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And I always feel like I should be apologizing for it, which is funny because so many guys are like swiping right because of the curves. And women, I should now that I'm gay, I should say women too.
Welcome to the community.
Yeah, seriously. Now that I'm the speaker of the LGBTQIA plus community, you know, other people swipe right for my curves, but I still feel sometimes like I should be like apologize, you know, or I'm like, why would you like me? But it's like, I don't know. It's like, I have brown hair. They have this color hair. What does it matter,
totally.
Man?
And it is. And it's okay. I think it's okay to still sort of have that little, I don't know. Like, I don't think I'll ever completely get rid of it, but like, and it's not debilitating. Is that the right word? Yeah. Debilitating. It's just like, I don't know, sometimes I think if you're open and honest with like your partner and like talk about it, it's like, hey, I sometimes feel like this, and it's kind of flattering for them a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think my friend, the same friend I've been talking about, my friend Talia, who's a therapist, Talia.mft on Instagram. She's got a great new business. But anyway, she, I think it was her, either she said this or she shared someone's post, but it was like, in a good relationship, both partners should feel like they're kind of like the other partner is like slightly out of their league. Do you know what I mean? Like you always be like, wow, okay, you're with me. That's keep quiet.
Oh, totally. And you know? Like, and I knew like I was bringing good shit to the table as well, like that whole thing. But yeah, I think it was just the whole the high school shit, aesthetics.
Well, I wrote this down. This is kind of what you're saying, that I said this is another thing I'm jealous of. you've had just enough adversity to give you depth and personality, but not enough to ruin your life.
Right? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
True.
Like, I mean, this didn't ruin my life, but like, I'm sure I've never mentioned this to you before, but like my mother died when I was a child. I think maybe I've told you that. Have I told you that
You've told me that every time I've seen you. You're like, hey.
I have to say that every time I'm about to come, I have to be like, my mother died. And that's
my
how
mom died. Yeah.
That's how I pull back.
That's how you get there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I've talked about it so, but you know, it's like a thing that like, it's part of my day every day in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't think about it, but it's like the world is weighing on me because the first thing that happened was this like really bad thing. So I'm always afraid. I'm always afraid that something bad's going to happen or that my life is not going to, you know, that just everything's going to fall apart. You, on the other hand, you fucking cunt, you know, people made fun of you for having red hair. You know, and you're like
kind of like I had other shit go on. Like I've thought about. I've only just really started thinking about it because I got like my I don't know. Like I've always been sort of anxious growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's been moments in my life where I was like I'd hit real bad anxiety, but like because I overthink everything, and so like I've kind of had to. I've only just realized that like there's been like milestones in my life where I've just gone like full anxious about shit. Right. And so like, I think maybe I'm an anxious person, but I've just sort of learned to deal with it. And like, my thing is like that I've sort of learned is, you know, how stress is just the misuse of creativity, that quote. So basically,
I've never heard that.
Oh, it's my favorite one. That helped me work out my brain heaps. Cause I was like, whenever my brain latches, so because I've got this hyperactive brain, whenever it latches onto something good, it goes and creates something cool. But then when it latches onto something bad, it also creates, it's just as creative.
Wow. And so, like, is that a quote? Is that, or just something you came up with?
Yeah, stress is the misuse of creativity is a quote, but that's what helped me. That's what helped me work out my brain because of like what you just notice when your brain latches onto something negative and it starts going, ooh, what about this? What about this? Right. What about this? You just go like, nah, you're being creative just in the wrong way, but go work on something else.
That's so interesting. I mean, I started doing, so a week and a half ago, I had my first ever panic attack, which was actually crazily. It was while I was editing my intro for the Cam Knight podcast. And it didn't have anything to do with that podcast. It was just that I was really tired. I didn't realize how tired I was. I'd had too much coffee. And, you know, and it was like several days in a row of not sleeping well. And then I had other stresses, you know, COVID, family, money, all these things. And
piles on.
Oh my God. And so that really fucked me up for a couple of days because I was like, whoa, I just thought I was having a stroke. I was like, because I was listening to myself in the intro and I had just recorded it. And all of a sudden I was like, I don't remember saying these things. And somehow that just flicked a switch in my brain. And I was like, I'm having a stroke.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
I've done that before. You just.
Yeah. I had to like call 5 people until I finally was able to talk to somebody who was like, you're having an anxiety thing and just talk, you know, whatever. But so strangely, it's been really good since then because it made me realize like I need more structure. I need to go to bed by this time every night. I need to wake up at this time every day. So I've been super on it for like a week and a half. I do a lot of the things that you and I talked about in this thing that my friend tagged you in, what you call like the table method or whatever, where it's like, what is it? The 4 legs exercise.
I didn't call it the table method.
She called it the table method because she's a therapist.
I just said it's like the legs on the table.
I
didn't have some fancy word. And then sleep, meditate, exercise, eat good. And then if you take one out, it's more unstable. And then if you take another one out, it's like, whoa.
You basically, you should get 4. You can get by on 3. But any less than 3 is fucked. So every morning I've been going to bed early every night before midnight. I never do that. I've been in bed by 11:30. Yeah. I wake up early or whatever, 8:30. And then I make a cup of tea, not coffee, because I'm trying to move away from coffee a bit. And then I'll meditate for between 5 and 20 minutes. And then I'll journal. And that's like how I start my day. So it's been really good.
That's good.
Yeah, it's been amazing, but it's slow, you know, because like the first 3 days I was like, I'm doing everything fucking right. And I still feel unhappy. And now I'm feeling more kind of grounded. But
it's like a routine. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it takes. Well, I realized that I would sit there on the couch and I have all this stuff I'm working on. Whether it's the podcast or like trying to make Instagram clips or whatever. And I would just spin and not do any of it. And then all of a sudden I was like, just open your laptop and pull up one of the things. And I started doing that.
Yeah, totally.
And that's what you're talking about, I think, where it's just like, I'll just sit there and like be like, oh my God. And all that energy goes to feeling stuck.
Yeah.
As opposed
overwhelmed.
To, and just instead of just going into one of the creative things and just
grab it and go. Yeah.
It's it's such a revelation. I'm like 36 and I'm like, wow, you can just work on stuff and then you feel better. It's crazy, you know?
Totally. I was feeling really sad like not that long ago. And I was just overthinking everything. What went wrong, like with this relationship?
With me and you?
Yeah. That was she left. Oh, man, it's been over a year. Get over it. But like the hamster wheel started going, and then I started working on this new show that I'm doing, and then like just threw myself back like into stand up, and it's like, oh, your brain just goes like,
God, I miss stand up.
Interesting.
I'm like,
it's been so good.
Geez. Oh, fuck off! I haven't done stand up since I think March 12th, I believe, was my last gig.
I've been crushing as well, just so you know, like doing way better than you.
No, if I were still doing stand up, that wouldn't be true. No, but this is actually that's not true. I would have so much fun doing gigs with you because we both have a certain kind of personality where we talk to the crowd and we're like happy to be there and like we would both do really well together. And we would both, like, if you were introducing me, you'd always say nice things and then like one shitty thing. And then you'd be like, no, she's fine. I love her. Bring her on.
She's the best. She's my best friend and I'm her friend. Just her normal friend, but that's fine.
No, you'd be like, oh, bring it up. This woman, she's great. She's Jewish, but we forgive her. And then you bring me on.
I never said that.
And you do the Heil Hitler salute. And I thought that was too much, you know?
I kind of liked it. The crowd liked it.
All right.
We were in Bairnsdale.
Well, this brings me to my next one. This is the thing I'm really jealous of with you. I don't have this. Okay. I have it on stage, but I don't have it in life.
Okay. Yeah.
People, like, everyone likes you. I'm not saying everyone likes me on stage, but like in life, I've never heard a person say a fucking bad word about you, and I hate it. I hate it.
Plenty of people.
No, there's no way.
Plenty of people.
No one. Not like, in comedy.
I've become. Yeah, that's because I had a life before comedy. Like I was a little rat bag on the Sunshine Coast back in the day. People probably hate me on the Sunshine. Well,
but people who know you now.
But like,
no, but people who know you.
Well, actually. I'm not. I was never an asshole or anything like that.
That's what I mean. I'm an asshole.
I think I just
sometimes.
What?
I don't know. There are people who don't like. A lot of people don't like me in comedy. Like
but I don't. Yeah. No, it's because you're way more outspoken than I am, and I just don't get caught up in the bullshit in comedy. And I think you loved to not loved it, but like you talked about it more. like you talked about, oh my God, what about this guy? I'm like, I can't be asked with that shit. Like,
I know you were not an ally. Comedian. I was like, these people are all raping children, and you're like, you know what? I just come, I do the gig, I go home. You know?
Yeah, I was not an ally yet. Yeah.
No,
these women.
I'm kidding.
Whinging.
You were very supportive. I'm just kidding. But yeah, people.
No, yeah, totally. It's just.
But people start shit with me too. You know what I mean? As in, like, people don't start shit with you. Because people just like you, or they're afraid of you. I can't tell.
Well, I don't think everyone likes me. I think there's a lot of people in comedy that are probably like, oh, fuck that dude. Like, I don't know.
No.
Like, well, I don't know. You just, like, if you're not a dickhead to people and just be kind, I think it's kind of hard to not.
It's not. But do you know how hard it is to not be a dickhead and to be kind? You just say it like it's this thing. Like, it's so hard because people will shit on you to your face, you know, if you're trying to get a gig or if you don't crush.
Well, maybe that's why I'm not that funny. I've got to be more of a cunt.
Oh, whatever. Oh, I'm not that funny. I just crush. But, you know, yeah, okay. You're not making me feel any better here. The whole point is you're supposed to be assuaging my jealousy.
Oh, is that what I thought you just blow smoke up my ass the whole time, and I feel really good and leave.
I want to hear how your life is way harder than I know it is, but I don't believe you. That's the thing. You just, Sunny, but I want to, you know what? The only thing that would prove it to me is if you actually committed suicide.
Oh man, we thought he was fine.
These are the stakes, Ben. If you don't kill yourself, you're fucking fine, you know?
It's so fun. Yeah, it's so funny how, like, I don't know, people think everything's fine. Like, maybe this is just a facade. Nah, I'm doing all right. I don't know. Do you know what? I don't really sweat the smaller stuff that much anymore, because I don't know, like what I did in COVID. This is going to make me sound, oh God, I'm going to sound so good after this. I did it as a bit on stage. So like during COVID, the second lockdown in Melbourne, I flew up to Queensland and quarantined for like 2 weeks. And then I flew up and taught like back in the Aboriginal community I used to teach at. And it was just so funny going from like Melbourne people going like, oh God, Australia will never know what we went through and everything. And then going and living in a community again and going like, oh fuck, it's the most brutal. It's so hard.
Why?
And like,
I don't really know what the communities are like.
So it's just like, there's not much to do. It's a beautiful place. The people are beautiful and everything, but then you've got like rape, domestic violence, the kids not sleeping. They're caught between two worlds, and it's so fucking hard. Like, the situation is just so hard, and the government just throws money at it, and it's like, yeah, forget about this, because it was 5 tribes that was put together in this one place where I was,
right? And
it's just fucking hectic. It's hectic, hard life, and then Melbourne people, it just puts your life into perspective. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's very hard for me to whinge about, God, COVID, we can only go out for an hour and I have to wear my mask. And I'm like, shut the fuck. Like, and then you go up to a community and it's like 24-hour lockdown. It's like,
Is it really?
No, it's not. No.
Okay.
I mean, as in like, they're just, it's just a,
it's different. It's
different. It's just, it's brutal. It's pretty brutal. It's hard life. And it's a lot harder than not being able to get a latte whenever you want.
Well, the thing was, you could still go get a latte, I think. I mean, some of those places stayed open. But I think that I had a friend who was stuck there. She was American. She was stuck in Melbourne. I guess it just depends on the situation you're in. You know, personally, it's like, I think part of the reason I had that fucking panic attack, I'm not even under lockdown, but I don't get to see people. I mean, I've just started.
Totally. And I totally get it. I totally get it. And I know I'm not.
But for you, it helped you. It helped you.
Yeah, totally. And I'm not shitting on anyone that was going through, like, because some people live by themselves, and it was hard, and like everyone's got different brains, everyone deals with things differently. Right. But yeah, for me, I should have clarified that before I went on a rant. For me, it was really hard to feel sorry for myself for going through like 6 months of lockdown when I went back up there, and it just sort of puts everything in perspective.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, God, I don't know.
But yeah, I'm a very good person. Just went out and taught in that. That's the main reason I wanted to bring up that story. Just so everyone knows how
I know. And then I missed the whole point.
There.
I missed the point. I was like, well, I think, it is hard to be alone. And you're like, no, but what I'm saying is it's me.
What I'm saying is I just wanted to let you all know that I went and taught Indigenous children in my time for COVID, just so you all know how good a person I am.
Well, now everybody knows you will teach Indigenous children, but you have no pity for the people of Melbourne who were under lockdown. And by the way, the majority of people who listen to this podcast are in Melbourne, just for the record. So
are they?
Yeah, because I started it before I left Australia. So it was mostly people who saw me do stand up. And so anyway, you're real cunt.
I hope they get the I hope they get the sarcasm behind me. I did that on stage. I did that on stage once, and it just bombed.
Was that in Melbourne?
Like I was in Brisbane. Like that was the opening thing. I said like because I just got back from so I said like I've just got back from teaching Aboriginal children 800 kilometres north of Cairns in the most remote Indigenous community on the east coast of Australia, and there's no joke there. I just want you all to know I'm a very good person. You know what I mean? I feel
like,
vegan.
Somebody bring me some pussy, please. Like that's what you.
I feel vegan. I feel vegan. Except I can still do push-ups. It's so good.
And nobody laughed. They're like, we fucking hate you.
Yeah, well, it was like I can't pull off the arrogant, like the charming, arrogant person.
That's me. I'm the person who can do that.
Yeah. You could pull it off, but when I do, I sound like a bit of a dick. But anyway,
you have a deep voice. You're very buff, you know, and they're like, we don't care if you're a good
person. We don't care. You know? Yeah. Shut up, fuckhead. Just tell us a dick joke.
And I think the reason why it works for me is because people go, you're not a good person. Do you know what I
mean? We can tell.
That's cool that you did that, but like, you're not a good person. Like, we know that.
Yeah. That's all right. So good.
Last one. Well, I was gonna say there's plenty of things, right? You have a really great work ethic.
Okay.
Well, you have to go. You're the one who told me you have. Oh, I gotta go. I have lunch with my father. Oh, that really takes precedence over my podcast. You know.
When did you tell me we were doing this podcast? By the way.
Today. I asked you. I invited you. I didn't tell you. You know, I'm not some.
I know.
Not your dom.
You say like it takes precedence over. I was like, yeah, you told me about it like a couple of hours ago.
Well, I mean, you know.
I fit you. We fit each other in.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
Leave that alone. Hey. As soon as I said it, I'm like, there's a 1 second delay from here to Brooklyn, and she only needs that. She only needs that 1 second just to fucking find some innuendo.
Really, just your face. Leave that alone, Eve. Oh my God.
Yeah. As soon as I said it, I was like, I got to say something, but like the delay, you'd already jumped. Yeah, fucking bam! I'm on, buddy.
There's no delay when someone says anything about fitting things in. I'm like, that's right. You fit me in. Or I'll fit you in. So, you fit me in. I'm like, wait a minute. No.
Peg me, baby.
There's more, there's other stuff that I could say about, you do have an incredible work ethic. You have like an entire other career that you like pursued and were good at. That's the annoying thing about you too, is like you play the guitar, you're a teacher, you're on the radio, like everything you do, you play rugby, you just seem to be good at everything, and you're nice, and you were a good boyfriend to your ex-girlfriend who dumped you. But anyway, you're
he's gone. 2 of them.
But you're one of those people who it's just like, I do know, and we've talked about today, like that things have not always been easy, and you have like, anxiety, and I think you've dealt with depression too, right?
I don't
flirted
think too bad. I think I did get really low though. Yeah. Right. But I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. But you've had, it's not like the sun shines out of your ass, but it does look that way. It does really seem like, oh, really, Ben? Tell me more about how to get fit, how to go to the gym, how to, like write songs, how to learn the guitar, how to write a joke, how to work hard.
That's what really annoys me when people say that sort of shit. Like I haven't worked super hard to do this. Like,
of course you have, but yeah, it's not that you haven't worked hard. It's that some people are able to let themselves work hard, and other people are me. And they just like struggle.
Okay. Yeah, and I understand that, but like it really annoys me. Like my little sister sometimes, well, she used to do it a lot. She's like, oh, like she'd call me the golden child because there's 3 of us. She go, oh, the golden child, like you're doing this. And I'm like, no, I'm fucking working my ass off to get good at different things and to like try and work this fucking head out. Like it's a mess up here, but I'm trying to put it in boxes or
because you were always I think you told me that you were like afraid of depression, right? Like you knew that it was possible and you didn't want to
because my dad, like my dad, my pop, my uncle, my auntie, like everyone, like it's a long history of depression in my family. And so dad's really good. He's always like, just be aware of it, I just want you to be aware of it. And so like, and I think it's good. Like that's why I did that show, that Big Red show, because it's like dudes need to be able to, instead of just being stoic all the time, dudes actually do need to talk about it. And I think what you said, like it did help. Like I had a few women come up to me after my show and said, I took my dad to your show and he's been speaking way more. And it like made me like, it made like that made my fucking year. It was just, it was so, that sort of shit was so special. Like I didn't.
That's really cool because for me, it's like, I know that men need to speak more. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that I didn't see your show. I think we were on at the same time that year or something.
I saw your show, but that's okay.
Did you?
Yeah.
My Too Much show?
Nah.
You didn't fuck it. I was like, I didn't feel like I would remember you being there.
I would have been like,
because right in the middle of that show, I talk about being assaulted, and if you'd been there, I would have been. It was him. It was this guy right here.
Get him.
And that guy assaulted me. It was right here. He was ginger, and he happens to be in this room right now. He's very buff. No, haha, JK. I just like to fuck with my friend Ben. Hashtag not a rapist.
Hashtag not all men.
But so I think like with your show, which I didn't see, if I were there, I know that I would have liked it because I saw parts of the show and we talked about it. I
was really stoked with it.
But it's the men, it's the guys who were like the kind of stoic, burly, or not burly, the kind of shut down. Or I guess women too, but that was your that was your
and I mean it is, well, I'd sort of like saying masculine and feminine, because like you can have masculine and feminine qualities in men or women or whatever you identify as.
Right. Yes.
But it was that little like huff at the end, like
you yelling at people who could possibly be offended. Whatever you fucking are, like that.
Yeah. No, like I don't know what it's like. It's Anyway, whatever.
All right. Well, I think I said all the things that I'm jealous of you in general. Now it's my favorite part because you have to go in a minute. Well, you like 2 minutes ago, really. But where you tell me what you're jealous of with me.
Jealous of with you. Okay.
Make it fucking good, because I'm not letting you just get off the
Bye. I gotta go. I am jealous of your hair. It is gorgeous, and
you have
I'm gonna nice obviously I'm gonna. No, don't. It's getting thin. I'm getting old.
All right. Shit.
And no, do you know? I really like your confidence and your outgoingness, and also when you're on stage, I really like how comfortable you are, like with
talking.
I don't know, talking to people, and your crowd work is really good. Like when you're on fire, it's like fucking hell. Like I don't want to follow you sometimes.
Oh, I'm gonna come.
It's like I just did. So that's good. No, like it is. It's really good to watch. Like when your interaction with people, like when you're on, it's just like fucking that, and it's sick. It's so good.
Thanks, man. God,
and I like that you take. I think you're just like a kind person that takes things on as well. You're like that's another thing. Oh, there's more.
Okay, I'm ready. Like I'm wet. Yep.
Yeah, no, you really did. Like I remember when we first, like, because we did stand up together in Melbourne, and I think Carl told you, or someone told you, to not tone it down, but like listen, don't do this. Like you took you take information on board, and you don't take it to heart. Like you don't like if I say something to you, or I don't know, someone says something to you, you actually look at yourself and go like, oh, how can I make myself a better person? Whereas I think a lot of humans take criticism the wrong way. They're like, instead of it being like a gift, which is like, hey, you didn't know this about yourself, maybe think about it. Like you sit with it and you go like, fuck, I didn't think that about myself, which is a incredible point of you about yourself.
Thank you. Do you mean that about stand-up, or do you mean that about like
everything?
Thank you. I mean, it's funny, like someone I'm close to, I'm trying to be vague about this, got mad at me like 6 months ago, and who I've known my whole life, and wouldn't speak to me for like 6 months or something. And I tried to reach out and was like really kind of harshly misinterpreted in reaching out. I was like, hey, let's not, like I don't want this to keep going on. And it was like just this like really hostile whatever. And then eventually that person came around and was like, oh, I do miss you, whatever, like just, kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know that I can actually fix it because that the relationship can keep going. Because for me, I feel like the core of every relationship I have is if you have a problem with me, you can tell me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And if you cut things off and just like, if it's just a wall, like this like steel wall, and it's like, no, you're out, then that ruins everything for me. So it's like, if somebody's willing to talk to me, then I'm always willing to listen. Obviously there's, some people are abusive and manipulative and whatever, but that's not usually the case. It's like people can get,
I think we're very similar with that. Like before, what we were talking about with the woman I was seeing, I felt like that. Like I was reaching out, like, come on, let's talk about this. But like, I felt like it was, we'll never understand it. This is too hard. So I think, oh, fuck, okay. Like,
wow. That hurts. And I know how much that hurts, because I think you and I are similar in that way, where it's just like, if you're a growth oriented person, which sounds like the lamest thing to call yourself, but it's true. I always want to be improving myself. And I know that you're the same. Then the idea that that someone's just like, nope, it's not going to work, I'm walking away, we shouldn't even, it's like,
a bit vague.
Yeah.
And the other situation is like, you don't know what they're thinking and going through either. True. So like, it's dumb bitches, always too. It's always,
it's true, of course.
There's always, there's always the second side of the story. So like, I'm just speaking from my perspective. Yeah.
And with that person with me, I mean, it's just so hard, and relationships are so fucking complex. And I'm shocked. I'm so shocked over time that I still am not able to control all of it. You know what I mean? You think, okay, well, if I journal more, if I give up carbs, if I wake up at this time, then eventually everything will be good. And I won't have to
journal more, give up carbs.
Yes, so seriously, if I do all my tick all my boxes, everything will fall into place. But actually, people, it's not true. Some relationships stay difficult, family in particular. Some relationships fade away. Sometimes you stay single forever, despite how fucking horny you are and how much you put that out to the universe, that you will fuck anyone who swipes right on you, and yet still you're sitting here with your vagina sewn shut for months. I'm just saying in general.
Put it on the vision board.
Just an open pussy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
You know what?
That's what you're into now.
Yeah, exactly. As of last week. Yeah. Look, I really want to keep talking to you, but I know that you have to go, and I'm trying to respect people's boundaries. I think Dad's waiting outside. He's like sitting there with like a bone in his
just
mouth.
Just at the door. Yeah. Who's Eve? She sounds hot.
Yeah. Oh, hello. But you're wearing the headphones. Otherwise, I was like, tell your dad to come in here. I'm single. Yeah. I don't mind depression. It's fine.
No, he's good. He's really good.
Is
now.
he?
That's the thing. He went through it. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Good.
Went through it a while ago. But yeah, man, this has been good.
This is really fun.
It's so good seeing you.
You too, man. I'm so glad that we were able to just do this last minute, and I could see your cute little face. That cute little Big Ben Knight face. Is there anything you want to plug? I'm gonna put this out like today or tomorrow.
Like I'm so single now. And,
I want to plug your pussy. Is that what you mean?
Slide into my DMs.
No, but like for the record, he's totally slept with people who slid into his DMs. So just do it. Just that was to the listeners.
I have.
I know. I'm just saying to the listeners, if you really want him, he's pretty ezy. Very sad person.
Yeah, pretty needy. That's true. Shut up.
What do you want to promote?
Socials. Yeah. Just go on Big Red Ben Knight is my
Knight with a K.
KNIGHT is my Instagram, and I put everything on there. Everything else I just sort of I put everything on Instagram.
He's so funny, and you're on the radio sometimes, and you gig all the time because in the country you live in, gigs are still legal, and you're just a general sweet
Merger.
Man.
The Merger is on Netflix.
Is a movie that you were in.
Is a movie, yeah. And I'm in another Netflix film coming up. I didn't tell you about that.
I know. I was actually I did put that on my list that act.
It's pretty cool.
What's it called?
It should be a pretty cool movie. Escape from Spiderhead. Hopefully it's cool. I don't know.
Spiderhead?
Yeah.
Right. That was the thing I put down that I was jealous of, but I didn't get there, and I'm glad I didn't, because it sounds like I would have continued to be jealous. Like, you're still in movies. So I would have I'm glad.
Oh yeah, well, you're gonna go, oh, there he is in this one.
Yeah,
I'm in it a little bit. I'm in it a little bit.
I want people to see, as many people as possible to see my face and to remember, to look at me on the street and go, I don't know why, but I remember her and I have a really negative association with her. That's what I want people to.
That's what you want?
Like, I don't know who she is, but she looks like a real cunt to me. And they'll be like,
I'm so weirded out that you didn't say, I'm like, I thought you were going to say, like, I'm so horny. Like, I don't know where her face is from, but I'm so horny. That's where I thought, that's just where I thought the natural progression was for Eve Ellen Bogan, was just to...
I'm losing my comedic instincts, a year off the stage, and I'm not even... I messaged someone the other day and I was like, I think I might be losing it. And that person said, God bless them. They were like, you didn't lose it. It's in your bones. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, I mean, I need that.
Yeah.
I need that,
You still got it, baby.
Thanks, big boy. Next time I see you, I'm going to rub your nipples. They're right there. They're so close.
All right. They're pretty tiny.
Are they?
You can go for it. Yeah, I got little tiny nipples.
Oh my God. That is so hot to me. Big chest, tiny nipples. You got all this hair spilling out of your shirt.
Yeah.
God. Okay. If we don't sleep together, can you promise on the podcast that the next time I see you, you'll like hold me and let me be like a bit horny in your arms?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I sit on your lap?
Sure. If I don't have a girlfriend, then
can you take off your fucking pants and do me? All right.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, we'll see where I'm at. We'll see where we're both at. You can't say that because you might find the love of your life by then, and then you'll be like, and I could be a fat bald man by then and say, "Hey, Eve, you promised. You said you could sit on my lap."
And I'll be like, "Listen, I don't want to, but a promise is a promise."
Oh, so good.
All right, Ben, I love you. Thank you so much for being on my little podcast.
Love you, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay.
Stay safe.
I will. I miss you too.